One time I'd have fucking issues. The one time I'd have fucking issues. Okay, there we are. Sorry about that, guys. Took a little bit longer than I was hoping. We had some technical difficulties, which I was hoping I would iron out by the time we got to doing this. Which is why I did some test runs, but they went smoothly. This one got off to a rough start. Anyways, hi everybody. All this has been in preparation for tonight, which I'm going to be playing Persona 5 Strikers, and it's a pretty cool game. I was afforded a review copy a little while ago in an effort to try and promote the game, of course, as they do. If you want to check out the review, I will post the link in the description. Just give me a quick second here. I did have it at the ready, but as it seems it's going to be, I'm gonna just post this on here. Link is in the well. There we go. Or maybe not. It would not do without some further problems, of course. There we go. Alright. Alright, so links in the description for the review that I posted on the Nerd Stash, which can be seen on the www.thenerdstash.com, all one word. How to get this started? Like, just by playing the game, I guess. You'll have to ignore when I get to basically saving the game. I did have a previous save on this because, like I said, I did do a review for this game, and I also did several guides that dropped today. So forego that. I don't think there's really any spoiler information in there anyways. However, there will be spoilers through this, and Atlas and Sega has made it very clear that they don't want me to play this without notifying you guys that there will be some spoilers past the half hour mark. So we'll just make you aware of that if you don't want to be spoiled on anything on this game, you're gonna want to simply not watch, honestly. But if you've played any Persona, anything at all, or specifically Persona 5, and you want to know about, or you don't want to be spoiled on anything on this, Really, honestly, you're not going to be spoiled on too much, as this game is kind of an isolated experience. You don't really need to know a ton about Persona 5, and it doesn't really go too much into detail on past game events, at least in the beginning. So you should be okay for the most part. Let's see here. While we're just getting through that introduction here, we're just going to go ahead and promote.
Alright, let's begin the operation.
Alright.
That was one hell of an entrance, Joker.
So for the uninitiated, Persona 5 Strikers is essentially a mix of Dynasty Warriors and Persona 5. As you can see, it is very different from essentially any Persona game that you've ever played. Which, seeing as I'm a huge fan of the Dynasty Warriors franchise, as it already is, this is perfect for me. I've gotten into games like this before on the premise that they did Fire Emblem, and they've also done Legend of Zelda with this same thing in mind. Mixing up the franchises in terms of style, that is. And I don't think there's been a game that has meshed these styles as well as this one did. But it also helps that I'm a huge fan of both franchises right off the hop. No, we do not want to skip this. So yeah. I'm going to try and not skip too much. So for those of you who do want to get into the game, but can't really get the game, or just want to get a feel for what the game's like, for maybe those of you who like Dynasty Warriors games and really haven't played a lot of Persona 5 games, or Persona at all, or vice versa, you can kind of get a feel for what you're getting into with this one. Because I feel like if you try and just dive in, or if you try and get an idea of what the game is without kind of taking your time with it, I guess, you're gonna get a little bit overwhelmed. You're not gonna get the right idea, I don't think. And the point that I've gotten into at this point, honestly, it feels, whereas the other games, like the Fire Emblem and Hyrule Warriors games, where they feel like they're Warriors games that have themes from other franchises, I feel like this is a kind of a Persona game that has Warriors mechanics to it, which is kind of a fresh take, but I feel like it's more tailored to the Persona audience to do it that way. But again, you'll see as it goes. I'm gonna stop flapping my gums for a little bit and just get to playing. And by get to playing, I'm going to say just getting through this first exposition dump, which is quite a bit. But any Persona game that I've played, that's more or less what you're getting into anyways. It's almost set up just like Persona 5 in that, oh, here's a taste of what you're getting into. Now here's the story.
And next on the agenda is the series of incidents involving unusual behavior in public.
just gonna test something out real quick while we're waiting in on this.
First, we have the Vice Minister of Finance. As you're all aware, he had some sort of episode during a diet. Soon after that, 3 Sapporo Central Council
it's good to know it didn't work.
bribery and publicly resigned. Next,
I am
well-known
like
author Mr.
literally no
Ness.
experience with bots, and I thought that would prompt something that but I'll just copy and paste if need be. It's not a huge deal.
He held a press conference that announced he was retiring from writing, returning his book's awards, and deeming his body of work garbage. Then, a newscaster suddenly got down on one knee, confessed his love for his co-anchor on live TV, proposed to her, and lastly, the Director General of Criminal Affairs unexpectedly stripped him.
Something amusing.
We're just gonna
to
go
you,
ahead and set
Inspector
it to auto, so
Hasagawa?
that way I don't have to. So I have the TV actually turned down, so that way it doesn't come back on the mic.
The vast majority of these cases have been interpreted as nothing more than bizarre outbursts. But, time and again, every instance involves a sudden
I already
change
know
in
this
personality.
information, but
Furthermore, none of the individuals involved had any known psychological issues before their incidents. Therefore, we can surmise that these cases are the result of an external influence.
Aren't these just coincidences? Are you really implying someone out there is using mind control?
The cases I listed are only a small sample of this behavior, which appears to be happening across the entire nation.
Sounds like the Phantom Thieves to me.
I want silence. Proceed with the report.
Thank you, Commissioner Kaburami. As you've realized, or at least as one of you realized, these cases are very reminiscent of last year's change of heart epidemic. The top brass have concluded that this is indeed the work of the Phantom Thieves.
What?
What evidence is there? No one's even established a pattern.
And we don't have any sort of motive. So far, doing it for kicks is the only thing that'd explain it.
You will investigate each of these incidents yourselves, as quickly as possible. What I expect from each of you are 2 things.
Oh, I
1,
think I know why it
to
didn't
assemble
work,
enough
but
evidence for a
that's fine.
successful case. 2, to do so as quickly as humanly possible. The higher-ups are hell-bent on closing this case. I do not know why. It does not matter. All that matters is producing results. Your suspect is the leader of the Phantom Thieves. Show me a thorough investigation of his entire life.
So, the Phantom Thieves rise again.
It's been a while since we rode this to Yongenjaya, huh?
Alright, so the bot is working. Just not doing what it's supposed to be doing. So, progress, I guess?
We're almost there. We haven't seen everyone in so long. I know it's stupid, but I'm getting kind of nervous. can blame us. We're on our way to see Lady On. Ooh, finally made it. Hey, hey!
So you see, there's still some very familiar elements to Persona 5, like, present here. And I really appreciate that, actually, because I was wondering whether or not this was going to be more like Persona 5 or more like Dynasty Warriors, and it seems like it's retained a lot of the same style and elements present from the Persona 5 games. Given the graphical quality is a little bit de-resed, I guess, for lack of a better term, it's probably so that way,
It's been a while.
you know, how to put this, it's basically so it's streamlined across all systems.
You too, Morgana.
And, you know, after I wrote my review for the game, I thought of something that didn't quite make sense to me until I had actually written the review and it was all done. I remember at one point when Catherine came out, I got the feeling of, well, okay, Persona 5 is on its way, or I think at that point it was a Persona game is coming, some way, shape, or form. I can't recall exactly at what point development was at that time. But we were thinking, well, okay, it's coming out for current gen. Is it coming out for next gen, and are we going to see a difference? And then Catherine came out, and it was across the board, and it was like, well, okay, so Atlus does know how to make an equivalent experience across both. There's been a lot, and I mean a lot of demand to see Persona 5, and probably by proxy Persona 5 Royal on Switch. So it seems interesting to me that they've decided that perhaps they've decided to use this as kind of like a test run to see if they can give the same experience for Persona 5 on both the PS4, PC, and also the Switch. So I find that to be really, really interesting. That this may be an indication that we may see Persona 5 Royal on the Switch. Maybe, perhaps a future Persona entry. I'm kind of hoping so.
Boy, that got his interest.
Wait, aren't you in the management program, though?
Yes, but students are allowed to take courses beyond their own programs if they feel so inclined. They even offer agricultural science courses. You can learn all sorts of new things, like the correlation between soil nutrients.
While we're still going through exposition, I do want to take the time to say thank you to anybody who is watching currently, or could be watching in the future if this goes to video on demand. Any and all support is really greatly appreciated. I do want to make a serious thing of this at some point. As you might be able to tell, I am streaming this straight through my PlayStation 4, mostly because I really don't have much of a choice. The only computer that I have is the laptop this camera is mounted on, and it's not very good, especially not for the purposes that I want to use this for. So, at this point in time, I just want to let you guys know there is a panel below the stream that you can donate to my Ko-fi. You can also, I do have a Patreon set up, though that's more for music-oriented stuff. I won't pimp that too much here because it's not really directly related to streaming yet. However, I do have it if you do want to support me there, or if you want to toss me a sub or toss me, you know, some bits or something like that. I do appreciate that as well. So if you do want to see more of this more frequently, and if you want to see higher quality, and if you want to see just basically I guess more and better for lack of better terms,
But you're third years now.
that's the way to do it.
Start thinking not just about graduation,
Because
but
as it stands right now, things are as they are. This is what it is. I am in my living room right now, doing this all up, and I mean, I'm actually going to take a picture right now because this setup I have going on right now is kind of ridiculous, and I love it. So
yeah, if it's
just
a
gonna go.
month-long art tour, I'm totally
Let's switch that out like this. Oh, that
Does sound nice, but what if we all went camping first? We could all go hiking and stuff during the day, and
I'm
even
just
burn
gonna
another
go
barbecue at night.
like
Barbecue?
that.
There's always big gatherings for people who socialize.
And we'll post that to my Twitter and my
Sounds fun. You can leave the firewood chopping to me.
and my Facebook, just to show you guys how ridiculous this is. Like, I feel like I'm in one of those weird like 90s hacker movies or something like that, where I've got multiple terminals set up and I'm like ready to hack the internet or something. It's a little much, but I love it. That's what matters.
Barbecue is one of the few things in this world that keep me away from art. Our history is
What I don't love though, just to put this out there, that PlayStation 4 camera I've got set up there, it's not good. It's not good at all. Is the one caveat there is to doing this through the PlayStation 4 that I really wish I could upgrade. I've upgraded the mic at the very least, and the mic seems to have no problem, but with the camera, I guess, is a little bit different. It's probably something to do with something proprietary,
The virtual assistant.
lag and input
You haven't heard of it yet?
compatibility and what have you.
I think I have. It knows, like, basically everything and does all sorts of stuff for you, right?
Oh, yeah! It's got this, eye that thinks for it, right?
I think you mean AI, not an eye.
Correct. It stands for artificial intelligence. It can search all kinds of databases, conduct navigation, manage your schedule, even talk out logic problems and stuff with you. The makers go on about how you can ask it anything and you'll get the best possible answer.
I remember seeing a demo of one on TV the other day. They were showing off its functions and talking about how it's the next big thing.
Yep, that's it, all right. Pretty solid tech, considering it's roughly 1,000 times smarter than the Ouija.
Shut up! That sounds kind of cool. Maybe you tell us where all the best ramen shops are.
Yeah, you should all download it. I'm telling you, it's the bee's knees.
I suppose it'd at least be handy if we ran into any trouble while camping. That's a good idea. Why don't you get it too?
Hello. This is Emma. I am pleased to meet you. Please provide me your name.
All right. Let's set it to random. I like having a little bit of fun with that. Alright, confirm. Yeah, I don't need to change the difficulty. I always like to do at least one playthrough with the default difficulty.
Looks like you've got it figured out.
Sometimes that bites me in the ass, but so far it's served me pretty well.
Displaying recommended camping items. So Emma came up with all that?
Impressive, no? And it's not just random junk for sale. It takes into account the season, the weather, your personal profile, and even your location for all its recommendations.
For real? Damn, that thing's eye is crazy.
AI, not an eye.
Well, should we split up and buy everything Emma's
Take this time to note now that I'm posting pictures to my social media just below my stream. If you want to take a look, I do have a Facebook page. I do have a Twitter page as well. I do have a YouTube and channel and some other stuff as well. And then obviously my Twitch channel here. I do have some other stuff. It's stuff that I don't use as often. So I try not to advertise that nearly as much. Just gonna go ahead and save that.
Thank you for treating us all to curry, boss.
Don't worry about it. Just think of it as sort of a welcome back. Plus, with this guy hanging around again, it'll be nice feeling like old times.
Same here. Thanks again. We'll be back soon.
Well, see you tomorrow. You know, it was nice talking with you so long.
Okay, let's get to shopping first thing tomorrow.
Yeah, we gotta get everything Emma listed up for us, right? Then we should meet up by the Buchiko statue in Shibuya. See you then. Don't go forgetting, okay?
And don't go forgetting about helping out behind
This
the
would
counter.
usually be the time that I would take to chat everybody up. That was also part of the reason why I had done some test streams to try and generate some traffic here. It's not working very well, is it? Oh boy. Alright.
Now then.
Let's get this saved. Let's take this right down to the bottom. Sup, Morgana.
Hey.
Or Morgana, whatever.
So, oh boy. It's nice to see everyone doing so well. Chief seemed to be the same as ever, too. This place is just as great as I remember. So, we're camping in a couple days, huh? Talk about a way to kick off your summer vacation. Me too. Well, we should get some sleep. Good night.
This scene in particular is kind of weird because a lot of the cutscenes are animated, whereas this scene seems to be kind of rendered in a slightly more polished version of the graphics engine in this game, which feels a little bit jarring, just because it seems like it's like this in-between between the animation style and then the graphics engine of the game. I was like, well, I understand that you probably didn't want to go to all the trouble to animate something like that. That was that simple, but why didn't you just do it in the graphics engine? Like that, it seemed really unnecessary to have that as a cutscene, but whatever. Well, let's just turn that right off. Because we all, if you played Persona games at all, you know that these scenes in the Velvet Room don't really get to anything anytime soon.
Your appearance is ironclad evidence of this. You have become a prison. That is understandable. This is something only felt in the depths of one's heart. Someone, even now, plots to lure you into a disastrous fate. Confronted by this evil will, your own cries out. Rise against it. My name is Lavenza. As one who rules over power, my duty is to witness the path you take. Should the world continue down its own current path, all that awaits you is destruction. Have you the resolve to defy such a fate and face the distortion that yet again threatens your world? The time for you to become what awaits you ahead are more of the same, more, even greater hardships than before. However, you must never forget, I am always by your side. The time has come.
Alright, let's see if this works.
Let us meet again soon. Until then, pleasant dreams.
Oh, there we go.
Good morning.
You know, something that's funny for anybody that's played any of the Persona games before, none of the main protagonists have really, like, sat the party down and went, okay, so there's this crazy place. Actually, no, it did happen in Persona 5, right towards the end. Not gonna get into it for spoiler purposes, but there was a point where it was discussed, but it was really the only one, I think, where the Velvet Room was really talked about, because when the protagonist goes into the Velvet Room, everybody just sees him just standing there and just staring off into space, and he doesn't spend long enough in there to really get anybody worked up, but they're like, are you okay? Is everything alright? You were just kind of standing there for a bit, and it never occurs to the protagonist to kind of defend himself. It's just, it is what it is. I was standing there. What's it to you? We're gonna just head off here. So what I'm setting up here, while we're taking care of, or while we're going through all this exposition and stuff, is some prompts for my bot, because making it try and do it automatically is providing some issues, so I just want to see if I can do it manually, if that continues to be an issue, and it looks like I'll be able to. So I'm just going through that now.
Ready to buy some camping shit? Let's hustle to the store so we can finally chill for a bit. It's already way too hot out.
That way I just kind of have a backup, and if I ever have anybody moderating this channel, they can go through and do this before me.
Oh, right, we can just ask you out. Hey, Emma?
However, I gotta get to something before I do that, so it's just preparation, I guess. So that way I'm not on stream continually harassing you guys and rehashing a script that, honestly, you guys don't want to deal with, I'm sure. It also will deal with, like, links and stuff like that that I can't describe to you. So, I'm gonna just go ahead and...
What's all the wreck?
I have a suggested event for you. A promotional store
I'd honestly go through a little bit more,
with Alice Araki.
but we're not getting too much action on here, so I'm taking now as a chance to kind of go through it while I have the chance.
Alice Araki is a
And this is where Ryuji kind of blows our minds by showing a little bit of pop culture sensibility, which not something I really took Ryuji for. But hey, whatever.
Wow, Emma makes her sound huge. Is she really all that popular?
What's that crowd giving ya? Huh? Alice really is just over there. Oh, someone sounds interested. It's on her way into the store. Why not check it out? She's totally cute enough for this to be worth it.
Oh, and of course, of course.
Hey, what's going on?
You don't want to show a link, do you, my bot? Why would you want to do something like that?
Alice Araki!
Hi, folks. Thanks for coming. A shop that carries one of my very own brands is opening here today. Have you ever dreamed that you could be somebody else, even if just for a little while? Well, I know a place where that dream comes to life. A wonderland where you become whatever you want to be. Now, I've got one question. Does anyone want to visit this wonderland with me? Aw, thanks. Then I have a surprise for you. I'm giving away 100 invitation cards as a special present. They're magical cards that will make you have an even better time in Wonderland. Enjoy! Here you go.
Oh my god, thank you so much.
Oh, and one for you.
Alice just touched my hand.
Oh, those are some quality specs. Sorry, that was weird. Hope you like the store.
Alright, so one of the auto things did work. That's a good sign. Very good sign. The first thing has worked as it should.
Jeez, what was with that crowd?
I can't believe I saw Alice. She was just as cute as I thought she'd be. You just don't get it. Being different's what makes her so awesome.
Well, she's all yours. My heart still belongs to Lady Anna alone.
Yeah, we get it.
Well, are you satisfied now? Let's hurry up with the shopping.
Fine. got one of those cards from Alice, right?
Yeah, he did. You just got blown up.
Damn it! There were just a ton of people around is all.
So it looks like
Alice Hiragi's
the Lynx thing is a
This
Twitch
looks like a boring
bit.
old ad to me.
I'm gonna
Some
go ahead
fine
and
print. Here's my Emma
fix
keyword.
that.
Please become my friend.
What's a keyword?
Let's test that again.
Didn't Futaba use something like that yesterday? She said we could become friends through
There we go. Beautiful. So, what you're seeing there is a link to my Discord. If you'd be interested in joining, chatting things up
So you input the
with
keyword,
anybody who's
and
viewing
you become
or
friends with Alice?
so on and so forth. For whatever reason, it is showing on my desktop, but not my mobile. So that might mean that if you want to see links, you may need to refresh the stream. I'm gonna check that out and see if that's the case right now. Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with that, but 1 out of 2 ain't bad. We're getting there. And
like,
suddenly, we're in the metaverse.
Not just me. You changed too.
Whoa! For real?
I can finally start kicking butt.
This place is connected
And
to
this
the
only
metaverse.
took almost
This is
45
a
minutes of
joke,
auto
right?
scrolling.
Look, aren't those the guys we saw at 7:05?
Hey everyone! You love me, don't you? Oh yeah? Then you can give me all your desires.
Yoink.
Whoa! What the hell was that?
There's no time. We'll figure it out later. Joker, Skull, let's fight our way out.
Alright.
We'll take all of you on.
Let's get back to it.
Don't forget who you're talking to. The offense do can.
That's what I like to see. We should go here too.
And say goodbye.
So, your basic attacks operate much in the way that they do. Our main protagonist here uses a dagger. He also uses his pistol, which I would have liked a little bit more time to show you guys. But yes, we know all about that. No, he's gonna insist. Alright, so you see there's a little area of effect there. The enemies that are affected will be glowing, and you just press confirm. Works out pretty well. And then if you knock down an enemy, they manage to survive and you break their guard, you get to do an all-out attack like that, which is pretty cool. Anyways, like I was saying, you have access to your gun as well, which is pretty cool.
Is this a...
Works much like it does in Persona 5. And honestly, even if you don't have any ammo, if you're in the middle of a situation like this and this just seems overwhelming to you, it gives you time to kind of get an idea of what your battlefield looks like and where your targets are. So I use it, and then now I believe you can break guards through a number of things. You can go via weaknesses, critical hits, and there was one other thing that I can't think of at this point in time. But there's a few things that you can do to break guards, and that's actually how you knock enemies down. So it's not quite like other Persona games where you're just exploiting weaknesses and that's how you knock enemies down. You're actually trying to break guard this time. And some enemies will actually have indication of that. You may have seen that a couple of times already. But like, you see how they have the stylized hearts above the enemies. Some of the enemies will actually have a little tiny yellow shields around their heart meters, and those indicate their guard. So you'll be once the see, there you go. You just saw it under one of the fairies there. Once the shield breaks, or once all their shields break, because some enemies, especially bosses and things like that, have multiple shields. So once all of their shields break, they get knocked down, and very often that'll lead to an all-out attack. Well, an all-out attack prompt. It doesn't necessarily mean that like it's automatically going to happen.
Take this! Alright, that'll show them. Y'all are way too weak. Don't even try stepping to us again.
Alright. The whole idea here is that we're going to get overwhelmed, even though in this particular spot, for the rest of this stage, for the rest of my time in this stage, this never happens again, but it's pretty cool. Kind of gives you a real sense of the warrior style of everything now. Oh, I'm just supposed to head right there. Alright. The one thing, like, Warriors games are known for is setting you in front of a bunch of just, like, underskilled peons, and you just tear through them. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them, and that's satisfying sometimes. And that gives you a real idea of what's happening. However, unfortunately, you don't really get that in the same way through the rest of the game, and that's a kind of a blessing and a curse. But I enjoy it, so there's that.
Just like I did. No matter how you look at it, that was her shadow. You just happened to wander into Alice's palace using him. That would be the most logical explanation.
Damn it! Whatever it is doesn't change.
We need more intel. Let's investigate the area. This really is a palace? Distortion has to have a core somewhere. We need to find the treasure. No, I've been getting a faint whiff of it. If we look around, we may be able to learn what's going on too. We'll get a better idea of what to do next, depending on what we find.
Guess we're doing this. This ain't fair!
Joker!
Another kind of unrealistic situation. I'm not talking about like suspension of disbelief either, with this being the kind of game that it is. I'm talking about they never get kidnapped like this again, and there's no reason why they should be. It's just the sake of the scene and the dramatics and what have you.
Who are these little guys?
Your Majesty, we captured these thieves, but we couldn't seize their desires.
Couldn't seize their desires? Explain yourselves.
It's kind of good that they actually do some of this exposition as opposed to in the other Persona games. you're allowed to move through the dungeons at your own pace because you have a lot of other time management things to go through, such as establishing social link relationships and buying equipment and you know, other story related stuff that helps you through those dungeons. The way this game is set up is you have a large exposition prior to this main area that you move through, and then you move through that area in a linear sense. So you perform a certain amount of tasks, and you can move out of the dungeon and back in without any real progression in game time. And by that I mean like the date or the time of the day doesn't automatically progress. So there's no pressure to manage things in a certain way. If you need to leave the dungeon to heal up your team, it's not a case of, well, I don't want to do that because then it moves the game forward. And then I've got to worry about a whole bunch of other stuff now. You can come and go as you please, and the game's story and the game's timeline won't progress until you progress in the area, in the dungeon, past a certain point.
You said it. Damn.
I'm gonna get through this, and then I'll actually get to do some dungeon crawling here.
Looks like we wound up underground.
It's a little fun,
Let's say it's some
to be
sort of
honest.
garbage dump. For now, let's just focus on getting out of here.
This place is disgusting. It just dumps people.
Yes. We are in a garbage dump. Oh, look, floaty box.
What is this place? Who are you? I am Sophia, humanity's companion. Nice to meet you as well. Are you human? Do you have a name? Joker. Okay, I memorized it. Joker, do you know where this place is?
Hey, I just heard something! I mean, who are you?
What is it, Joker? Can I help you? A raccoon? Try a cat! Wait, don't try a cat!
Mind. Anyway, who's this? A real funky getup. Not right now, man.
I am Sophia, humanity's companion. You jumped down here by that Alice girl too? I just learned that I have no memories.
Wait.
Hey, you two. Who is that, Joker?
She said she doesn't have any memories?
She came out of a giant box?
What kind of crazy shit is that? Way too weird.
She doesn't seem to be a shadow. She doesn't even seem hostile.
Well, whatever she is, we still have to find a way out. Nobody's solving any problems in this life, that's for sure.
In trouble?
Whoa! Where did you...
If you're in trouble, I can help. I am humanity's companion. My purpose is to be helpful to humans.
So, you want to help us out?
Correct. What is your problem?
Well, we're lost. I guess we're looking for a way out of here?
A way? Will reaching the surface solve your problem of a way out of here? Yeah. It would? Okay, I've got it.
Not gonna lie, thought playing a just released game was gonna get a little bit more attention, but it turns out there's a lot of established streamers doing the exact same thing. So, guess we'll see.
Sure about that?
What I would like to do is to have a regular schedule going on. So hopefully the idea is every 2 or 3 days. We really haven't established a schedule, mostly due to the fact that I have a child. So given the fact that she's a baby, it is sometimes difficult to try and establish a routine. But what I'm hoping to do is every 2 or 3 days hop on stream for a few hours, play this game or a variety of any other games with you guys. I have a ton of PlayStation 4 stuff, and as I progress in upgrading my equipment, I would like to stream other games as well. A lot of like retro stuff that I really enjoy playing. For example, was just talking on one of my friends' streams not too long ago about Suikoden 2, and that would be a game I'd love to stream with everybody, just mostly for the fact that I'd love to reminisce about the game. It is a funky game, and it's kind of hard to get through in points, but it is... I just love it, and I would love to share it with people, but it's a lot to get through on my own. I've tried it quite a bit, and it's just rough, like I said. But let's just say that's something I'm working towards. The idea is eventually I'll get my computer upgraded eventually, and eventually work towards getting a one of those capture things as well, so that way I can just pull from whatever I want and then move it to the computer. Ideally, that's what I'd like to do. And then also, this whole thing can look a lot better as opposed to just me being in this box in the corner as well. So I don't think that looks very good, but it gets the job done, right? And speaking of, I suppose it's time to bring that up.
We should just avoid it if we can. Are you saying that's in your way?
We can't escape unless we get past here.
Okay, I've got it.
Huh? Got what? What the hell? Yo, wait up!
Who are you? Intruders!
Of course, again, issues, but thankfully an easily solvable one. So, again, if you'd like to support me directly, there's a link to do so that I've just posted in the chat, as well as just telling you guys about what that goes towards. Because I'm sure there's not too many people, or at least not a lot of people, who are transparent about that. And I just want to make sure everybody understands that, you know, I just want to make these streams better. And honestly, more adherent to my tastes as well, if I'm being honest. I tried to toy with it to the point where it was looking or acting a certain way that I wanted,
You're so effing strong! You should have told us right away you could fight!
with like overlays and stuff like that, but Twitch doesn't play well. Twitch and PS4 are just like, this is what you get. And to that degree, honestly, I'm grateful, because if they didn't have that set up, I wouldn't.
Some kind of persona?
I wouldn't be doing this. So I'm
The
grateful.
things you were using during the fight. Those boxes flying around. That was a weapon. I needed it to fight. Sophia, just what in the world are you? I am Sophia, humanity's companion.
Yeah, we already heard that.
There's still just too much we don't know.
We don't have the time to figure it out now, either. Getting out of here needs to be our #1 priority.
Yeah, we really don't need her getting any more attention from the enemy. Let's just have her help us out. Considering what we just saw, I don't think we'll have a problem.
Agreed. We have no idea what's ahead of us. The more firepower, the better. Can you lend us a hand, Sophia?
To anybody who's new, thank you for coming in. Thank you for checking me out. For anybody who's watching the VOD, thank you for checking it out. Remember to check all the links that I have posted on this channel. Keep coming back if you like what you see. Really appreciate it. I'm really, really new to this stuff, so please, for lack of a better term, be gentle. Don't know what a lot of the going standards for a lot of this stuff is, and I'm just trying to get that figured out. Again, I'm streaming from my PS4, so that doesn't give me a lot of flexibility in terms of what I can and can't do for production and for just generally how interactive this gets. So hopefully we can work towards that, but I can't do that without your help. Hi, kitty. Want to say hi to everybody in a while? Maybe. Oh.
Shadows incoming! A whole load of them. Get ready! There are more ways to target an enemy's weakness than skills alone, remember?
This is my youngest kitty, Noelle. Hi. Alright. Teach me about gunplay. It's a lot of like tutorial style stuff, but at least you're getting into the gameplay at this point. What I found about the beginning of the game, so through this entire area, I find that if you don't adhere to the way that the game wants you to play, you're gonna find that there's a lot of difficulty, and it's really unfortunate because as you go through, there's more flexibility in terms of how you can play, and it might turn some players off. I'm not sure.
Joker, think you can find your way up there?
So as you might notice, navigation through here works a little bit differently. This is one of those mechanics, like combat, for example, where it's borrowed just about everything from the Dynasty Warriors line of games.
Wait, shadows ahead. I didn't spot us.
But it still feels Persona-ish enough, I guess.
We avoid charging headfirst into battle whenever possible. Let's try those stairs for now. Let's try those stairs for now.
Oh yeah, that's right. They don't want me fighting those guys just yet.
See that hanging there, Joker? Thinking what I'm thinking?
And then just drop a truck on them. That could be it for them? No? Okay.
I've learned something new. Yay! We
Don't celebrate just yet.
there. If we climb there, guess there's no.
I've got eyes on them!
They just don't quit. Let's take them down, Joker.
So, our introduction to status ailments. It's always fun. Shock seems to slow people down, but it seems like a lot of the status effects that I've actually experienced in this game just basically boil down to you being stuck in place for a bit, and you gotta wiggle the controller for a while until you gain your balance again.
The enemy became a mask. Explain this.
He seals a shadow's form and power into a mask, turning it into a persona.
Oh, interesting.
Have to pardon me, I've a little bit tired today.
I can see it.
Enemy ahead! Joker, try that persona you just got.
AKA, this persona's got a weakness that you can now exploit. Boom. Weakness hit. But, as you'll notice, like I said before, some enemies have multiple shields that you have to break. So in order to break their guards, you have to hit their weakness, do a critical strike, or hit a technical strike, I think, numerous times. So if you saw that one hit, did almost break the one shield, but you got 3 others to hit. So once you get through that, you'll get to see. Oh, shit. I wonder if that takes the guard down a little bit. It is weak to lightning. Alright. No, it did not. So, as you saw, that actually took down, saw it, for whatever reason, a shield and a half. So I should only have to do this 2 more times. And we get to see a special all-out attack, which looks a lot more like the all-out attacks that we're used to in other Persona 5 games. Still very stylish, still very cool to look at, but as you'll notice, oh, so interrupting me, but as you'll go, the shields will replenish, and if you want to do that again, you gotta do the same thing over and over again. It's not just a one-time thing. And as you go, I don't even know what triggers this just yet, because honestly I haven't really paid attention, but it seems as though the more you use a particular character, you get these master arts, which allow you to use different techniques equivalent to, like in this case, you perform a follow-up after a triangle strike or a mid-air gun attack. You're not going to be doing too much of this on purpose. It's just something that kind of happens. But if you do manage to master something like this, you get an extra free bit of damage. And you can't be angry at that. So yeah, moving forward, you will get to use your other characters eventually. Do I have? Yes, I do. Alright.
Persona! You're mine! Persona!
She's stronger every day.
How are you holding up? Make sure you heal yourself.
So that was my first taste of a boss encounter.
There aren't any shadows.
Well, I mean, the game's first case of a boss encounter. I have been through several of those, as they happen in set locations and they keep regenerating as you come back to those locations. So I've faced them plenty, and they don't even equate to like mini bosses or anything like that. They are just kind of stronger enemies. They're more equivalent to, like, again, going back to Dynasty Warriors, they're more equivalent to, say, like officers or something.
The way out of here is nearby.
For real? Wait, how'd you figure that out?
I suddenly knew it. Like,
seriously?
the exit is close. Follow me. Wait, Sophia!
What is her deal?
Well, I don't know, but we need to move it. Is this the way out you mentioned, Sophia? Yes, this is what I had detected previously.
And there's the way out of here.
It's fine. It leads outside.
Not every go through an area is going to be like this. It's more or less going to be a lot more free roam. However, the areas, how you accomplish tasks and stuff like that, do still stay kind of linear. However, you can roam around and do whatever you want at your own pace in spite of that. So, something to note.
Huh? Ain't you coming too?
What should I do? Joker's got the right idea, Sophia. This place is crawling with shadows. Staying here would only end badly for you. But
Jeez, what's it gonna take?
You want me to come with you? Okay.
Well, here goes. 1, 2... This is the real world, right?
Yep. Looks like we're back, all right.
You have successfully returned from the jail. Welcome back.
Jail?
Hang on, Sophia! Where'd she go?
I don't think I'm seeing her.
Hey, Shorty, get your ass over here!
Don't do that in public, idiot.
I'm almost convinced at this point, like through the overarching story of Persona 5, that Ryuji not being able to keep his loud mouth shut is a plot device.
Inside Joker's phone.
What's with the floating head?
Yo,
Whoa, she just popped up!
oh, did you change your outfits?
Is that really you, Sophia?
Yep, I'm really me. But who are you?
I'm still Mona. I just look like a cat in this world.
Mona? You're Mona? So, you really weren't a raccoon.
I already told you that.
Wait, why are you on his phone now?
Why am I? Because I am an AI.
An AI?
That's that smart thing, right?
Futaba told us all about it.
She's an artificial intelligence.
For real?
Because it was the closest one to me. I was thrown into endless light. When I tracked down Joker's scent, I ended up here.
Scent?
So since she's an AI, she turned into Data when she came to this world.
I mean, you're living in his phone?
It is somewhat small, but it's cozy and has everything I need. Here to join me?
I don't know.
Anyway, it's a big relief knowing you made it out of there safely.
Hey, but what about all those other people we saw in there? Are they still, you know...
I don't know. But I seriously doubt normal folks would be able to fight against that. Me too, but if we charge in without a plan, we're just going to wind up captured too. A new part of the metaverse has its own version of a palace that we access through Emerald. It even has a ruler ship. Odds are that something horrible is happening right now. You're right. Talking about this here is no good. Let's get to the plot. We'll hammer out our course of action with everyone there.
And what about her?
It appears I cannot exit this phone. When I came to this world, I connected to the internet and learned a great many things. But my memory is still erased. I also found no means of data recovery. Furthermore, I am stuck here. What should I do next?
Just eat, for crying out loud. Give me, like, maybe 2 seconds. Because one of the infamous times my laptop decides to completely crash on me is midstream. So, I'm gonna get that fixed up.
So we're both crashing somewhere.
Do
Also,
apologize yet
introducing
again.
Sophia to everyone else will probably make the explanation easier.
Wonder how that's gonna go over. Especially when they hear all the palace type shit.
There are more Phantom Thieves?
Yeah, we got ourselves a whole gang. One of them will probably flip her wig over you, too.
Okay. That sounds pretty fun.
I see. You're saying you entered the metaverse of Alice Hirambi's invitation and met a sentient AI named Sophia, who is now in your phone.
When you put it that way, you make it sound crazy.
But I'm telling you, it's the truth. I really didn't want to believe it myself. We know what a cognitive world like that means, after all.
We understand. None of us would make up. However, there's a chance this Sophia... She's still with you, right? Could we speak with her?
Yeah. Let's see if there's anything Sophia can add that could help us figure out what's happening. Could you come join us, Sophia?
Yo, Phantom Thieves. Oh, what is that? I'm Sophia, humanity's companion. That's really Sophia? Wow, I can't believe this is happening. Is this some sort of hideout? There seem to be a number of Phantom Thieves present. She's humming to herself?
What in heaven? Such an adorable design. I feel the charm, the pain, tenacity within.
Wait, what?
So, yeah, this is Sophia.
Nice meeting you.
I think next time
An AI with genuine
I may
wills.
just get right to my main save.
Right? We couldn't believe it either.
Because like I said before, I really don't think...
That's right, we're meeting for the first time. Nice to meet you, Sophia.
There's too much spoiled. I mean, like I said,
My name's Haru Okumura.
by the point that I'm in, or at least that I feel like I last saved in anyways. I'm pretty sure I'm in the 3rd or 4th area at this point. This is more or less so that way I can adhere to the streaming standards that have been set to me, judging by how many people are streaming this game and how long some of them have streamed the game. I'm gonna take it that they're gonna be about the same place I am or further along already, so not too worried about it, honestly.
My name's actually Ryuji Sakamoto, the cat's Morgana. Please.
Okay, I'll remember that. So you really are a computer program? Correct. Would you like to see my source code?
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Besides, this stuff, all this...
Okay, you can see it after we get through these questions.
Actually, honestly,
First off, why were you in the metaverse?
you guys have seen enough, I think.
Could you have the AI
of
version
the beginning,
of Amnesia or something?
and nobody's really watching anyways, so
At
least this way I can play for myself.
It is impossible. I have already tried everything.
So let's just get right through it. Yeah. For anybody who's doing this through VOD, has been appreciating it and does not like the fact that I just skipped through all this and hit this point, I do apologize. However, I don't think you're really going to watch this on VOD, especially if you're not streaming it, so I still suggest you go out and buy the game if you like what you've seen so far anyways, but aside from the point, let's see here. Gonna just go ahead and save first. And then, can I load? Yep. Alright. Get right to it. So, yes, 3rd area. You know what? I'm gonna do it with... Wow. This was much easier to do last time. let's keep with English for now, because that's why I've gone through to this point. No point in changing that now. Alright, where am I at with things? Let's see. Okay, I was likely gathering resources, and that's why I set up on the outside. So let's just double check here. Let's just do a tour of all the shops.
Welcome. Oh, that's good. Thanks for fun. Come again.
Come on in. Made your choice? Thank you. Made your choice? Is this what you'd like? Here you go. Please come again.
Yeah, I have a ton of cash. Well, not a ton, but I have quite a fair amount, so I was probably out here trying to stock up. And now that my computer is up and running again, I can take those off.
How can I help you? Have you decided? Here we go. Again.
So this is something that I've felt that I've had to regularly do through the course of this game, which is item procuring. It's not quite as straightforward as it is in Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal, where there's just literally just a set amount of locations for you to get your items, and you can basically just get whatever you can afford. It seems like everything just has a limited supply, and you're really kind of stuck. If you move to a new area, you have a whole new batch of locations and a whole new batch of items that you'll be able to purchase or be limited to.
Yes.
And I feel like that's good, in a sense, but in a sense it's also kind of bad too. Like, from a design perspective, I can kind of understand it. Also, didn't mention this at all in the review either by mistake, and also didn't really mention this up to this point. There's a cooking portion to this game. As you get past a certain point, you can start getting recipes and getting what do you call it? Ingredients. So you can put together your own dishes, so you can take them into the metaverse, and they give you some pretty nice benefits. So, and as somebody who really enjoys cooking myself, I thoroughly enjoy the aspect of it. It's not really like super in depth or anything like that. It's just You get the items, you go to your hideout, you get to cook it. That's what it boils down to. I'm actually going to do this right quick once I get everything that I can. Actually, can I cannot. So, before I go forward, I should let you know that this is the third dungeon. This is past the very first. For anybody who does not want to be spoiled on the game, do not continue watching. I do not know what story points or story beats are going to be coming up. As I don't recall playing past this point. I probably have, and I just forgot to save. But at this point, I had stopped playing this more or less around this point, so that way I can continue writing guides and keeping up to date on other games and just playing other games to have fun. So there is that to note. Also, my memory is kind of crap, so
Hi, welcome. Thank you. Hey, welcome. That's super right. Free of it. That's super. Free of it. Thanks.
alright, where are we? Over this way. So far, 90% of the time, your hideout is going to be this RV here. Go inside, you kick back, and you go over some stuff. So, going to your destination is going to be your next story beat at this point, I believe. Your jail, as it showed before, the jails are the areas, basically your dungeons, that you're going in and out of. View requests work very much like they do in Persona 5.
Here's what I found.
You get a task, you go to the marked place to knock it off. Very straightforward. Some of them are a little bit out of the way, which is why these are still not done, because I don't like doing the make a persona with this feature type of requests. It's just a pet peeve. Discussing just means, like in Persona 5, your party discusses that point in the game. Going to the Velvet Rope, self-explanatory. You go to your shop, which is, you talk to Sophie, and she basically procures just about anything for you in the game, mostly unique items, also limited supplies. So if you find anything that's great, but you want to stock up because you have a ton of cash, too bad. That's an ingredient. Yes, I will need. Oh God, there's only one available. See, this is what I mean. Yeah, why not? It's cheap. That is not cheap, but I need it. Yes, I will need more of those.
How many would you like? You want, thank you very much. How many would you like? You want the thanks for your patron. How many would you like? You want thanks for your patronage. How many would you like? You want thank you very much. How many would you like? You want the thank you very much. How many would you like? You want this? Put it to good use. How many would you like? You want thanks for your patronage. How many would you like? You want put it to good use. How many would you like? You want put it to good use. Okay?
Probably don't need half this stuff, but it's one of those, a lot of it is that kind of, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it kind of situations. I was learning that with the rice ingredient. Turns out I needed that a lot more than I initially thought, and I ended up running out right quick.
Which one?
Okay. We are all set for my main party. Everybody else has their protectors. I made sure of that. I think we're good for now. So let's save once more. Because if it turns out something extremely difficult came up, and that's why I didn't save past this point or something of that nature, then now I'm prepared to go.
This is where the accident
Let's
happened,
just
isn't it?
pull this up, and I can listen.
If we put in the keyword here, we should be able to access the trauma cell.
There may be enemies ahead. You sure you guys are ready?
That's right. I want to see what happened to Mari-san with my own 2 eyes. The keyword is Snow City.
Keyword successfully entered. Beginning navigation.
What is this?
It looks like this is the Snow Festival.
Check out those 2 suits over there.
I didn't know you were accepting rebates. I see a career man in the making.
Son, would you please be discreet about this?
I could do that, but in return, you need to do me a favor.
Anybody who might be viewing this, feel free to interact in the chat if you want, if you have any questions, or if you want to just say hello and thanks, feel free to do so.
You will cooperate, won't you?
Yes. Yes, of course.
Did you just say?
Mayor!
Oh, it seems I've been found out.
It's not what it looks like, Mayor. It's really...
Mayor? Does he mean Mayor Hyodo?
Then, Mari-san saw this happen?
I had no idea he would be like this, that anyone was behind this.
You really don't get it, do you?
But this festival's going to see. Meaning it comes out of the taxpayers' pocket. I figured, why not lower costs and hire cheaper construction? What's wrong with getting compensated for it? The rest of our staff makes these deals all the time. So, what's the harm in one little mishap? That sculpture collapse was just bad luck.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. I'm calling the police.
Well, go ahead and do it. But I'm bringing you down with me. What? I'm gonna testify that I did it under your orders. Then you'll be ruined. After all, you're the one in charge here. See, I even have the papers you signed. Right here.
Such an unfortunate turn of events. Sorry to say, but you're finished, Mayor.
Counsel, aren't you? Don't you want to do the right thing?
As far as I'm concerned, that's whatever's right for me.
Well, are you finally ready to listen? Answer me, Mayor.
You ready?
Oh, well then.
How can you blame a peon like me? You don't get paid enough for this.
This shall be interesting.
Money talks, bullshit walks, Mayor.
Just threaten the mayor? Is that it?
I had no idea Mari-san went through something like this. Something so awful.
Think later, act now. We've got a real fight in our hands here.
another thing I'd like to note, and something that I think I touched on in the review a little bit, is the fact that there's a song that's playing right now that I'm not sure I would say it's exclusive to Dynasty Warriors, but is pretty much known in Dynasty Warriors, and I love it for that, and the fact that they did this little homage is amazing. I love it.
This one.
Okay, so that's interesting stuff to know.
You're mine.
Oh, nice, Joker! You hit its weakness! Great technique, Joker!
Who's weak?
Persona.
I don't even know how to pronounce that, so I'm not gonna. I'll try, I guess. Ahau? Yeah. Oh, okay, so he's weak to PSI attacks, light, and dark magic. Alright. So, as you'll notice, like I mentioned before, we've got a situation where he doesn't, like, his life doesn't really go down by all that much just from regular attacks. So the whole idea here is we've got to chip him down through exploiting his weaknesses and by breaking his guard and doing all-out attacks. That's the whole idea. If you use Showtime stuff while you have your persona equipped that takes advantage of weaknesses, I think that helps quite a bit. But I typically don't get Showtimes enough to really exploit that a whole bunch.
This guy's atrocious! We're here to set Marcus right. Listening to thugs like you is a waste of our precious time.
So here you're seeing me switch off to Ryuji because we had a baton toss. We're gonna go ahead and just switch back because that's easier.
Let's go. Take this. Come, ravage them.
We're gonna go ahead and actually everybody's health was regenerated. Sweet. We're gonna try.
You're mine.
Perhaps I should be taking notes.
Let's go.
Roger. I'll use my persona.
Huh. Okay. So must have been one of the smaller enemies that's weak to that. Okay, but not him, so we're gonna just kinda we're gonna move to Ryuji. He is a strong SUV or SUV. Yes, he's a strong sub. I don't really take him for a willing sub, but point him in the right direction, he might know what to do. Okay. Try and get behind him and see what we can do. Another thing that I've noticed here with him is that he doesn't really... He can help break guards without landing criticals, which I think is interesting because that charged attack there is what does it. It's not very much, generally speaking, but it's enough to note. And if you do that beforehand, you basically cannot interrupt it. It's really nice. So if you run around, you have him equipped with a nice set of skills, and you give him one of these. It can really chip down quite a bit. This also works with his elemental attack too, so if you have any enemies that have a lightning weakness, it's ideal quite a bit. And I need to redo that. Let's go back to him, because clearly we're not getting enough chipped away from that. So we're just going to go ahead and exploit weaknesses. There's another one already. And let's get a showtime done. We just get a couple of seconds there. Sometimes it's a little bit longer. Oh, okay. So, he didn't heal himself. That is unfortunate. That was another status effect I'm not entirely familiar with, but I like it. It's actually kind of cool. Kind of like when video games try and approximate what it's like to be drunk. I love the wobbling effect, especially in Grand Theft Auto 5, which is really neat. So I just don't get to see his shields? I don't quite understand. Got like some kind of buff or something? Well, it was on for a second when I took advantage of a weakness. And now it's back up. I don't know, maybe it's some kind of glitch or something. No. Over this. Oh, okay. Having some troubles there. There we go. Back on the ball. Release. Yeah, let's
switch out.
Let's let him finish. And then I feel like it's raising defense, and I'm judging that based on the purple color, so generally with this, that's indication of defense status. We're gonna just heal. Oh, that's everybody, right? Let's go ahead and up. Alright.
It's useless. No matter what you do, you should have just resigned and
There it
disappeared.
is. There it is.
Go down already, damn it!
Okay.
Thank you, Oracle!
I may just have to chip this guy away, which is fine. It seems like I'm having a pretty decent go of it, but not exactly a flashiest way to do it, and probably not the way the game wants me to do it. But sometimes you're up against a situation like this, winning through attrition is what you need to do.
Persona! Ravage that! That's why you're the leader. You're mine. Persona!
Alright. Now we gotta grab some SP. Just those, really? Okay. Most important because oh man, the all-out attack better really do a number on this guy. There we go. Let's see what we get out. Oh, that is not nearly enough. That was not worth the effort at all. At least I get a showtime to follow it up with, so I guess there's that. It's him having to access that defense ability that really kind of helps him out. And he's got 4 shields, so it's very clear this guy is meant to be a frickin' tank.
Let's go. You're mine.
Oh, nice, Joker! You hit its weakness! That off quite well. Yeah, smart enough. You're up to standard nuclear attack. Joker got in a follow-up attack.
You're mine.
Fair warning, this one's gonna be rough.
There's forgetfulness that I've been suffered with that is almost exact for how it works in Persona 5 and other Persona games, where just you're unable to use your persona. Hello, kitty.
mine.
Let's do this now. Perfection. Keep it up. Go back. Gotta catch him up quick.
And that was how not to avoid that attack. So, as you'll see, when the main character gets knocked out, the game does not end. That's good. I appreciate that they changed that to this.
Keep it up, Marco.
Rabbit step.
Everyone stay focused.
Rabbit step.
Oh, nice, Joker. You hit its weakness.
Showtime. Arsene. Here. One single me out. So is everyone around me.
Getting weaker. Come on, everyone. Prepare yourself. I will blade right through your shield.
Almost done here.
Let me get that one. It's a strong one. Exploit its weakness to curse.
Persona. Let's go. All right, Joker.
Joker, you're low on stamina. Be careful.
Persona.
Oh. Right. We just need to pound away at this point. There we go. That is how you do that. Okay.
I'm gonna work even harder. That's all.
Who were those guys? Guardian mayors.
One was a city employee. The other must have been a councilman. Someone higher up on the ladder. Anyway, it seems this employee accepted an illegal donation from a contractor who ended up building the sculpture.
Payment for landing them the job. In other words, bribery. We don't know if the sculpture collapsed due to a structural issue or a general lack of care. The result is still the same.
Either way, the councilman was in the know. Not only that, he tried using a fatal accident to take Mayor Kyoto's position. Something along those lines.
Unforgivable. Everything makes sense now. Kyoto overheard this conversation by chance and found out the truth about the accident. Not only was it someone from the city, even her own staff had blackmailed her.
It's messed up. These greedy assholes only wanted money and power.
Now I have a better understanding of what Kyoto must be thinking. When she found out those around her were immoral, she became determined to purge the corruption above all else.
That's why she's overworking her staff and trying to push her ethics bill through.
And on top of it, she's trying to manipulate the people into re-electing her.
Mori-san.
Well, no matter what the reason, the birdcage is finally open. Let's head back to the hideout and discuss the specifics.
Maybe
of the
there's
call.
something beyond simple adults being corrupt.
So, what do we do for the carnival?
Maybe we shouldn't go
I mean, given that message seems to be basically
a bad person.
adults are corrupt because of other corrupt adults, but whatever.
The bribe in the first place is the truth, though.
Was it not the shoddy contractors who built the sculpture? And they deserve the most punishment.
You guys sound pretty heated.
Who's to say one man's more evil than the next?
So you were here all along.
hostility. You guys forgot about me, didn't you? Why would you not get in contact with me?
Well, now that you mention it... Gramps, you completely slipped our minds.
Alright then. Maybe I'll forget to keep you from getting arrested.
Okay, we're sorry.
Forget it. So what's our situation? Now I get the picture. So that's how Mariko Kyoto became a monarch. That would explain your debate as to who was the worst of them all.
What's your take on it, Gramps?
My take is you kids are naive.
Well, what do you mean?
It's clear that Mariko Kyoto was cornered by a pair of rotten scumbags. Tragic, I agree. But what is she doing in response? Isn't it just as wrong to change people's hearts and manipulate them?
That may be true, but...
Furthermore, that accident was her responsibility, being that she's the top of command. Regardless of who did what, a real leader takes the fall.
Even so,
it may be a bitter pill to swallow, especially if we're a group of
You know what? I gotta give it credit.
But the real world isn't so cut and dry. And the longer you keep up this hero charade,
This guy,
the harder
this
to fight
character
your
who's
ass
been
down.
introduced as an investigator
Take it back!
with some kind of Japanese national agency,
Sorry. Might have overstepped my bounds.
seems to be,
I can understand your
I mean, sometimes at least the voice of reason amongst what amounts to a bunch of kids.
If we give up now, then the people who are counting on us won't have any hope left.
How he just basically said, yeah, but it's not that simple. It's not that easy. And you guys aren't that much better than these other people who are trying to manipulate the situations to fit their ends.
What Mari-san is doing is forcing her warped intentions onto other people.
And I think
and we can't
it's
let
nice
happen,
that
no matter what the reason.
with this particular character, we got a taste of the writing staff getting some self-awareness. So it might just be that they're aware of how it sounds.
Thank you. So how will we send the calling card?
Maybe we could send it over with some curry to the mayor's office?
What are we, a catering service? If anything, it should be Rob.
Might be better to avoid closed spaces, actually. After all, she'll probably be outside prepping for the election most of the time.
There's no point sending a calling card if the target doesn't see it.
I wonder if we can send it somewhere on her campaign. Like somewhere she's bound to pass by. Then how about where the Suzushino posters are? I'm sure she'll have a speech over there.
Yeah, and if we time it with her speech, it'll be perfect.
The question is, who's going to place it?
Alright, we've actually got... Oh, well, we were up to a new number.
Thanks in advance, Gramps.
A little bit disappointed. Got kind of excited seeing a 3 in the viewer count.
Consider it a favor. Yeah, being such a mean...
You get to that moment in time when, as a news streamer, you're like, whoa, 3 people are watching, holy hell.
I'm counting on you, Gramps. You little weasels.
Oh, fine. I'll post the damn calling card.
We really do appreciate it.
How I'd let one twist my arm like this. Whatever. If we're really doing this, it'll be early in the morning. Don't be late.
hit.
Yeah, that last fight went fairly well, so I think we can go directly to sending the calling card out. So I think we're doing okay. Let's save for saving's sake.
Yeah!
And let's go.
Yes.
Alright. That doesn't sound ominous at all. Yes, let's meet up in front of the mountain. Oh my god. Oh, that's how tired I am. Let's go meet up in front of the fountain.
I'm sorry.
And the mountain. Let's go to a mountain fountain.
Thanks for being here. I wanted to talk to you about Mari-san. It's strange how I couldn't remember Mari-san until now, even when Hasagawa-san said her name.
Oh, pardon me.
Who she was. And at the moment she called me Haru-chan, suddenly, it felt like a lid popped open in my mind, and my memories came pouring out. I remembered all these things about my childhood, about Mari-san. How could I forget someone I loved so much? I think what happened with my father affected me more than I realized. All the times we spent together. And the moment he passed away, I must have suppressed those memories deep within my heart. At some point, I got used to hiding things away, and I even forgot a good friend like Mari-san. Thanks for understanding. To be honest, I feel like I was running from the past again. A long time ago, I remember tagging along with Mari-san and my father during a golfing trip. I was so happy running around that I ended up tripping and falling. And of course I started crying. Then all of a sudden, Mari-san came up to me and said, "Stop crying and get back up." And that shocked me at first because I always thought of her as an extremely gentle person. But because I knew she was so kind, I managed to stop crying and eventually got back up. I remember thinking Mari-san would never say anything out of place. I trusted her completely. At that point, Mari-san hugged me and said, "No matter how many times you fall, you can always get back up and start again. Never forget that." Can you believe it? I didn't quite understand back then, but I think I do now. There's more to good character than kindness. Being good means dealing with the bad in front of you. It means to take a stand, even when all you want to do is run away. To realize nothing will change if you keep ignoring reality.
Oh boy. I am a lot more tired than I thought.
I won't. I think I know what I need to do now. It's too late to save my father. But it's not too late for Mari-san. This time, I can change things around. I want to tell her exactly what she told me all those years ago. Yes. Thanks for hearing me out. Tomorrow, I'm going to do my absolute best. But for now, good night. Hey. Why is Haru so upset over Mariko Hyodo? I don't have a heart. So why do people try so hard for others? I wonder if I'll ever know. I'll believe you. It may seem like a simple concept to you, but to me, it makes my mind go. But I am humanity's companion. I am here to learn and grow.
Good day, everyone. Are we ready to make Sapporo a paradise as pure as snow? Then remember, on election day, please vote Mariko Hyodo.
What is that? A calling card?
It's real.
What's going on? Mariko Hyodo, false empress with a frozen heart. You are a cold manipulator who treats people as tools to be discarded. We find this unforgivable and will end your reign of abuse. In fact, we will take back the desires.
I think what I'm gonna do is this is very clearly coming to a conclusion, at least for this area. I'm gonna try my best to see about concluding it, and then we'll call it a night after that point. I planned on wrapping this up in about an hour and 15 minutes, but as you can see from all the yawning I've been doing, I'm a little bit more tired than I thought, so I think I'm gonna call it, tuck it in a little bit early. And I figured that's probably a good point to kind of stop it.
Wait for us, Mari-san. It'll all be over soon.
So, like my posts in the chat, do mention, I appreciate any and all support, but if you really want to make sure that any and all support comes directly to me, Ko-fi is the best way to do that. Or Coffee, or however you pronounce it. From my understanding of the service is that there are no fees deducted from the donations that are passed through Ko-fi, whatever, as opposed to, say, sending me bits or subscribing to my channel through Twitch, which apparently, especially if it's done through mobile, there's deductions and so on and so forth. By the time it comes to me, I think I only really get half of what you end up paying to it, and that's even less relevant if you do it through mobile, because apparently not only does Twitch get its portion, which I believe is 50%, there's also transmission fees, store fees, so on and so forth, because if you do it through mobile, like example, through with my Apple iPad, there's the App Store fees, then there's bank transmission fees, so on and so forth, and it just makes it way more expensive than it needs to be. However, there will be benefits to subscribing to my channel through Twitch, so there will be incentives to do that way. It's entirely up to you. But if you were to ask me personally, right at this point, Ko-fi would probably be the best way to do that. Let's get right back to it though. So,
let's go.
Alright. This is kind of what I mean. So you saw how there was the option there to return from jail. From this point forward, I can come and go from the jail as much as I need to. Without worrying about progressing the story, which is preferable. Mostly because this way, I'm trying to figure out I completely lost my train of thought. That way you're not under any kind of pressure to take a certain kind of actions or make sure that you're doing things properly. You can just kind of use the opportunities in front of you to try and stack your chances of success without any real downsides to it. So if I found that I wasn't leveled enough for whatever reason to take on, let's say, a boss or something to that degree, I can stick around this area and just kind of farm for a particular resource or just for experience or something along those lines. And I can go back and forth and keep doing that until I'm okay with proceeding. So there's that, and I think that's really neat. Given the context of the other Persona games, I don't think they could really do that with any of the others, but either way, still cool, still like it. A really good addition to this that kind of makes it accessible by I guess non-Persona players, and also makes it make sense in the context of the game itself, I guess.
Satanta! You're mine!
That's almost fun! Let's finish this!
Okay, where are we going? So,
It's over?
going this way.
We should apply the same effort in the next battle. Doesn't look like there's any shadow.
Oh, and if you're one of those people who are viewing this through mobile and you can't catch the links to the stuff that I was talking about earlier, with Kopi specifically, there is a link to it on my channel. It's one of those little panel things that's underneath the stream if you're doing it through a browser, or I believe there's a way to access it through the mobile app, which is good. But if anyone needs access to any of that stuff, I mean, you can also join my Discord or try and contact me through social media. I'll be more than happy to give you those links. If you want to support me, I'm not going to keep you from it.
This may be relevant to my interests. Oh, this is...
Sorry about the wait. We're here to kick ass and...
Silence!
Who the hell is she?
That couldn't be Mari-san?
What on earth happened to her? Guessing this is Hyodo's distorted form.
What?
Best not get in my way! Oh, more votes and I'll win re-election.
This is wrong, Mari-san. Those votes you gathered by twisting the people's hearts are worthless.
It's kind of interesting that with the previous jails, the main antagonist in them, the way they're distorted has some kind of allusions to their character. In regards to, let's say, with Alice from earlier in the stream, they were a pop idol that used the keyword Wonderland to access the metaverse, so there were some Alice in Wonderland allusions there, and it came through somewhat in the distortion, but it was allusions more to her character than anything else. Her main distortion when you were fighting her, she turned into like some kind of rabbit thing.
Listen to him. When you take away someone's
I'm having trouble with this because the character is a politician, as you might have gathered if you've been paying attention to the story, and there's some justification, a weak justification, mind you, but a justification. Just basically overworking and underappreciating her staff, and this is how her distorted character looks like. Is this to allude to an ugliness on the outside and the inside, and is this how the Japanese characterize outward ugliness? And if so, I'm not sure if I can subscribe to that, because it has no outward like parallels to her actual character. Like the ice cream thing, I get. But this whole her being overweight and sloppy and just gorging herself, that makes no sense to me whatsoever. I'd have to assume that's some kind of cultural thing. Let's see, obviously we're gonna pull out fire skills here. And that did not prove to be a weakness. Alright. We have her skills, of course. Of course. I feel like those props are going to be better used elsewhere. Why? See. So, Ice Queen, not affected by fire. Go ahead, man. At least I've got something that exposes. Oof. That hurt.
Let's go. Gotta exploit those weaknesses. Got off quite well. We could use that.
So as you're noticing also, again, she's got a lot of those shields kind of burned through here. Does not look like we're dealing with any sort of status change, which leads me to believe we've got some phase changes here. So we're going to get her down to a certain HP level, and she's going to change things up a bit. At least I think that's how it's gonna go.
Let's go. Rabbit step.
Oh, nice, Joker! You hit his weakness!
All right, Joker, here I go.
That dancing thing up there. What if we dropped it on the enemy? Let's do
So note to self. Okay. First off, note to self. Yes, furious. But also, our man Ryuji here can stun this enemy. We're gonna go ahead and heal on real quick. This is again why I stocked up on items so much. It's just so much easier to heal via items, and it's more rewarding because you don't lose out on SP this way. And somehow, yep, that's how the scenery plays into this. Right. Okay, yeah, I see how this works now. But it's only gonna work one more time, so I'm gonna have to be careful. Speaking of careful, just take a second to appreciate how stylish the Showtime moves are, which has always been a bit of praise that I've had for the Persona series as a whole to begin with. It's just, everything looks and feels so damn good, like just all the time. Okay. Get your ass knocked down. Shit. Not only did I almost lost Ryuji there for a second, and I missed with the chandelier. That is not good. Alright, so I have no means of stopping her when she's like this, other than just straight up stunning her. Okay. Another phase change, which I'm going to assume really only just... Whoa, okay. We're gonna go ahead and just say that sucked. Like a lot. Like a lot. Alright, that's another way that healing by items is much handier. Oh, no, that sucked. Oh, man. I'm getting rocked. This isn't good. This is insanity. Like, that wasn't even a ramp up. That was just going from, okay, you've got this, to, well, I hope you've got a change of diapers handy. Okay. Thankfully, again, because of my preparedness,
Appreciate it. Somebody help her. It's immune to electricity. Listen, real strong. Watch your back.
lasers. Oh, I think I may have missed something here. There's something to this, isn't there? Yep. That I should have realized, and it hinted at before. Okay. Oh, two of my guys are dead. Alright, that's not cool. Alright, let's oh, hey, people have to stop dying. That would be great. Oh my god, what chandelier? There's none left. Oh man. There's no chandelier, so I just basically just lost him. Oh. So yes, it stunned her from her rage state, but oh, that wasn't what they were for. Oh, this is gross. You got me. You got me. Oh boy. Okay, that works, so maybe it's just the act of stunning that does it. Okay. That I can live with. Trying to tell me that dropping that chandelier down was the only way to do it? That was not what I was prepared for.
Let's go.
It's a strong one. Exploit its weakness to curse.
Not yet. Leave that one to me.
Okay.
This one. This one. This one.
Where? Okay. I gotta go back this way, behind her. How is HP levels looking? Not great, but not extreme. Alright. Okay, there's shit again.
Let's go.
Well, I have enough SP to go all the way. Didn't think so. Let's see what I got.
Okay. This one. Persona! Whoa, that was sweet!
We get that back. Yes. And all out attack. Alright. Did absolutely nothing. Oh man. Are these attacks meant to be that useless? Like, come on, man.
Let's go.
Hits hard, man. She hits hard, and I'm trying to dodge this stuff, but it's not working. Here we go again. I really didn't think I'd be using this many revival items, but she hits so hard, so frequently. It's hard, it's easy for me to overlook low, like, just like that, like, 1, 2, 3, knock my HP down to absolutely nothing before I got a chance to really kind of recover. Shit. Alright, that's it. She's gone.
Persona! You're mine! Too slow!
That's good. Yep. Alright. Even though I'm slowed, I can do this. I can do this.
Persona! Take this! Come! Grab it, Seth! Done!
Are they all dead? Seriously? Oh my god. Alright. I can't go losing energy too. Can I not? Oh, he swallowed up. Oh, this just got bad. This is a one-on-one battle now. Okay, I'm gonna cheese this out. I really did not want it to come to this. But we are gonna cheese this out. By cheese this out, I'm going to spam the ever-loving shit out of weaknesses and see if that gets me close enough.
You're mine! Come! Grab it, Seth!
Oh yeah. Nope, nope, nope. Not even gonna take a chance with that one.
This one. Okay.
This is how I get deaded if I'm not careful. And by careful, I mean have my finger on that game called start button, because that's not what it is. On my options button. And
this one.
This is ridiculous. Like, I'm going for damn near everything. There we go. That was something. for anybody who's curious, that was a completely blind run.
Please stop.
I've not faced this boss before, so.
What? You're a kind person, Mari-san. And I know you've tried to shoulder all of this alone. The staff member who took bribes. The councilman who tried to set you up. Even the girl who died in the accident.
It's just been good general practice to overload on items as much as possible.
Am I right?
And not overly rely on normal conventions. Like through this dungeon, having fire affinity equipment, protecting yourself against the ice, and oh hi kitty, and just being smart about, you know, an ice level. This kind of turned it on its ass. Like, okay, so I had my main character on in my party, figuring that might set me up based on normal conventions. This doesn't follow on normal conventions, so just having a bunch of items at the ready kind of prepared me for that. And you know what? I wasn't even completely prepared because I did not cook prior to this, so
Everything that happened. Then
yeah.
you get a fresh start. But this time on your own strength.
That would be impossible. I collaborated with Gonzalo to hide the truth. That way I could continue being mayor. There's nothing.
I'd like to also again take the opportunity to, for anybody who is curious about what I thought personally of Persona 5 Strikers, check the description for this stream, or I think it retains it when it's VOD. My review is linked there on thenerdstash.com.
You said that to me a long time ago. Even if you told the people the truth about the
Would always appreciate to see you there. As for your latest gaming, movies, and technology news, and events, and guides, and reviews, and all kinds of wonderful stuff from the media world, or the multimedia world, should I say.
That's why I know you can too. Remember the part of you that taught me to get back up, no matter how many times I fall.
Yes. You're right. Thank you, Haruka. What I've done was wrong. I drove my employees to work and used a strange power to manipulate the votes. I was so driven by my personal agenda, I lost sight of how I originally felt, and why I ran for mayor in the first place. To make the city beloved by everyone. To give back to the home where I was raised. That's reason enough to take another step. I won't make this mistake again.
I never needed this power from the start. Haru-chan, you've grown so big.
Your father must be so happy.
Mari-san. Happy?
This place is collapsing! Let's go!
That took us quite a while.
Haru, you were fantastic. It was only because you were all with me. But I do wonder if Mari-san would be okay.
I'd say so. Her shadow disappeared like they always do.
Yeah, your feelings definitely reached her. I'm sure her heart has changed for the better. Well, I guess this wraps up the mission. We still need to confirm that the
Looks like I
citizens
won't
are
be
all
going as early as I thought.
It'd be nice if we could do that right away.
Grab something to eat
That fight
first.
took
Hungry
a
enough to
while.
pass out here.
has a point.
But that's okay.
Battles can't be fought on an empty
We will be
stomach.
done shortly once this exposition closes up. I save and then I get the hell out of here.
What? I thought we were finally getting lobster hot pot.
And so quickly they return to casual speak. It's like, oh, well, we're done with that. Guess that means back to normal.
No way! Isn't it supposed to be barbecue? Well, cooking Genghis Khan does require a utensil called a Genghis Khan pot. And you can't barbecue in a pot.
I figured as much. Then to lobster hot pot we go.
Why? What even is this conversation?
I feel like this is the Japanese version of what constitutes a sandwich.
Straight from Sapporo, it's Beauty Thief's award-winning smile.
I'm relieved too. I thought you might be weighed down by all that's happened.
Indeed. She was so weighed down that she met up with our leader for a private midnight chat.
Huh? Were you watching?
All right, Sophia. Find us the best Genghis Khan in Sapporo. Sophia?
Sorry. Okay, I got it.
What? Everything seems pretty normal to me.
The fanatical support for Mariko Kyoto appears to have died down.
I'm glad they're back to their senses. What a drastic change. Just goes to show how powerful a monarch's influence can be.
Hey, guess what? Kyoto-san's holding a press conference right now.
Thank you all for taking your time to gather here to talk. Actually, there's something I've been meaning to share with everyone. Today I will be resigning from office. I do not intend to seek re-election either. During my time as mayor, I've betrayed all of your trust. You may think of me as a mayor who's earned your trust, but in truth, there's plenty that I'm ashamed of. The snow sculpture that
I mean, as far as some of the
by an unscrupulous company that bribed one of my
the corruption scandals and all the stuff that the Phantom Thieves have tried to fix, a politician overworking their staff and underappreciating their staff is pretty tame.
girl's precious life was lost.
Especially considering when the very first palace hosted somebody who was indirectly the cause of something very extreme, like just way out there, that I was surprised that they'd even tackle it in an RPG.
She died because of me.
I mean, this is hyper Japanese, so it's not as sensitive a topic over there, but over here I was surprised that it kind of made the jump, so to speak. Oh, that was in bad taste. I apologize for anybody who understands the references I'm making and makes the connections I just did. That was, like I said, that was in poor taste, and I apologize.
I wonder if she'll be arrested. Good question.
Yoda was afraid that if she wasn't the mayor, she couldn't protect her people.
She could have told the truth and made her underling take the blame, but she was concerned about other evils potentially lurking in the shadows.
I think this turned out for the best. Mari-san wouldn't have wanted to hide her mistake forever.
Zenkichi is on the line.
I was really hoping that battle would close up fairly quickly. I did not expect that to take as long as it did. Yeah, I saw it.
Yep. You all did a bang-up job. Really, can't thank you. We plan on bringing Kyoto in as a key witness regarding the accident. I knew you'd want to analyze her phone, too. So I pulled a few strings. And now I'm her personal chauffeur. At least as far as the station. If you want, I can open up...
Mari-san.
Haru-chan. Listen, there was something wrong with me. It's like I was in a terrible dream. I don't know what it was that my heart grew so cold. But after what you told me, I remembered who I really was inside. When I became mayor, I wanted to protect the city and everyone in it as if they were my own family. I remember that feeling. Thanks to you, I've finally been able to confront myself, and I realized that I was doing a horrible disservice to a girl. I had lost sight of reality and begun acting self-righteous. Nothing I did was for her sake.
But Mari-san, you were doing the best you could.
No, it's the truth. Had I not realized my mistake, I would have likely continued to hurt even more people. That's not what Haru-chan would want. So let me say, thank you, Haru-chan. Thank you for saving this city, for saving my family.
Mari-san!
Your father's recent passing must have caused you so much turmoil. I'm sorry I added to it. But if there's anything I can do for you in the future, any way I can be there.
God, that'd be much more meaningful, Mariko, if you said that you did look absolutely menacing.
Thank you so much, Mari-san.
Oh, Haru-chan!
I'm happy for you, Haru.
I suppose I must get going. Though I am concerned about the state of affairs I've left our city, I'll leave it up to my successor. An arrogant wretch like me has no place being the mayor.
Does that mean you won't be involved in politics anymore?
Yes. I'm too ashamed to show my face in public. And at my age, there are plenty of younger folks who can mail.
Another thing that I like from this game in regards to resolving each dungeon per se and their main antagonist, it seems like in Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal, the main antagonist, something dramatic happens to them, and that just more or less causes them to give up. They become overcome with remorse, they become overcome with emotion, and they basically just become hyper aware of the wrongs that they've done. And that just shuts them down. Like, they just cannot cope with all the stuff that they've done. Whereas in this game, that starts on that path, but then there's some hint of redemption. Even though some of them are like some of the antagonists that you meet through the course of this game, they deal with I guess they deal with the realization of their actions differently. There's one in particular that doesn't really change his character all that much, but does become aware of his actions. But there's a sense of redemption where it's like the party is basically telling the antagonist, like, no, you don't have to be this way. There was a foundation there. You can build upon that. You don't have to just drop everything and give in to sorrow and despair. That's important. I think that's extremely important, and I know this is like the antithesis to the typical JRPG, like hyper dramatics. That is very much a trope of what happens in JRPGs typically, but I thoroughly like it. It's teaching important lessons that even if you say you've done something really terrible, really awful, you can still come back from that. There's no reason for you to just... There's no way for you to just, like...
Please forget it
I
already.
don't know how to put it. You don't necessarily have to just... Like, that's not the end for you. With certain exceptions, let's just say I'm not speaking definitively, painting with a broad brush here, but just saying that to a certain degree. Oh, can I save now? Yes. There's room for redemption, and that's important. And I like that this game kind of highlights that. Alright. And now that I've been able to save, we're done here. And right in time for 3 hours. So, it's been a slice, guys, for the few of you who have actually been tuning in. We got through almost the start of the first chapter, and we finished the third chapter. So, I'll be picking up from here next time I stream this game, whenever that ends up being. But yeah, that's the story. If you catch this on VOD, pay attention to the chat. There's important links in there, and I appreciate it. Check me out on Facebook, check me out on Twitter, check the links in the chat for Discord. Actually, I'm going to post that right now. So, you can join my Discord. If you want to see more, if you want to see better from me, you like who I am, but you want to see more production, give me a support. Throw me a sub. Throw me some love on Ko-fi, and I promise that I will do my best to try and give everybody here the best experience. I won't be just doing, for now, because I have my PS4 and that's the main way I'll be streaming. When all is said and done, as I get more and more resources, I'll be doing more. I do a lot of stuff with music, which I would love to share through here. I do a lot of stuff with I do a lot of stuff with writing, but I don't know if that's something I really would share here necessarily, but I can. I have a site that I write for, the Nerd Stash, which is doing very well, and I write there regularly. I do a lot of stuff with Magic the Gathering, which I would love to get into with you guys, but again, not necessarily something I can do with the current resources that I have. That might actually be a little bit easier. Might do that on like YouTube or here on Twitch. We'll see about that. But there's a lot of stuff that I would like to get into and like to just talk to you guys about, and to create a space where I can share these things with you, engage in conversation, and make it so that way everybody is free and safe to do so. I'm sure there's tons of other people like me who seek to do the same thing, but I want to bring my own personal flavor and spin to this. So if you want more of that, feel free to support me. Otherwise, see you guys on the other side, and I'll catch you guys next stream. Take care, have a wonderful night.